If I was a general fighting the Russians, my position would be black flag, to neither give mercy or expect mercy. The war in Ukraine is not an honorable and ethical conflict. The Russians are worse than beasts, and thus as far as I am concerned, under me there will be no prisoners, all Russian soldiers can expect death. Under different circumstances Satan hunters would be hunted down, put against a wall and executed by firing squad. Be under no illusion of my hatred for Satan hunters and those that support them. Likewise, my answer to Putin is drop a nuclear bomb on Moscow resulting in hundreds of thousands deaths just to get at that one leader. I am not going to pretend or apologize for a very harsh position, that is the way it is with me. It is probably just as well I will never be in a position of great power, because I won't be a nice person to those I have total contempt and hatred for.
I will keep a close eye on Matt Taylor. I will keep a close eye on Matt Taylor.
Hello. My name is James Hind, not my real name, and I am a satanic pedophile expert, obsessed with magical imaginary Satan hunters. On strength and weakness. One of my critics picked up on a blog post from my social Darwinist period of outlook from back in 2013, where I admired Putin for his strength, and I expressed my contempt for weak people I called sheep. Near 10 years later, it is interesting to be confronted and thus consider how my ideas have evolved. A strong leader saved Russia when it fell apart. Back in the 1990s, when the USSR had fallen apart, Russia went through a period of anarchy where nation and people were preyed upon by criminals, vultures, and foreign corporations. The people lost their pride, dignity, and status, nuclear weapons went missing, and the social order in the world, that had been balanced out by two titanic sides of the Cold War, became unpredictable and chaotic. From within this chaos emerged Putin, a ruthless, strong man with a vision who brought Russia out of chaos and gave it a new sense of purpose and dignity. Putin of 2022 is a weak leader. The Putin of 2013 is not the Putin of 2022, who because of some health condition, is no longer the strong, calculating, and stable man that he was. The Putin of 2013 could have easily taken control of Ukraine by buying up the infrastructure, ports, industries and communications, could have melded Russia and Ukraine as one cultural people through the soft power of art and culture, could have through his political strengths of bribes, assassination, and information war put into power those aligned to his point of view, like he did with Trump. Putin has embarked on a brutal war that even if he wins, will result in the exhaustion of his military, a strengthened NATO, and a wasteland of ruins and corpses upon which he has no money to rebuild. The Putin of old would have seen all this and not have made the errors he has now done. This new, weak Putin, I do not support. The USA and UK gripped by weak leaders and institutions. I see the consequences of weakness of leadership, laws and institutions at the center. Trump was weak because he was a tool of Putin, who managed to create a divided nation, and in his 4 years of power smashed the world status of the USA built over decades. Biden is no better, a bumbling old man, who has no answers or character to do what needs to be done to rebuild a strong united nation. At this moment the USA is beholden to 9 unelected court judges, who serve for life, rather than the lawmakers who make the laws. Neither Biden or the 2 political houses in the USA have the ability to recapture control of the USA from these judges. In 2021 the USA faced the overthrow of their democratically elected government, and total civil war. In the years ahead the USA faces the possibility of their union breaking up into individual nations like has happened to the USSR. The reason why leaders like Trump, and the mini-Trump in the UK, Boris Johnson, held on so long to power was not because they were strong, but because the institutions, laws and political systems of the USA and UK have become feeble and weak. Satan hunters and QAnon is the outcome of weak nations and leadership. Nothing prospers but decay and death in a situation of anarchy, where QAnon types of people have got it in their heads that they are no longer governed by the ancient social contract between the people and state, where they decided to invent their own worthless currencies, freemen of the land laws, plot to assassinate police, judges and politicians, decide not to pay for services and products they tricked someone to provide for them, kidnap children based on an opinion without evidence, and trample over the rights and liberties of their fellow citizen. Now, because of weakness of the leaders, institutions, and laws, the QAnon types, those Satan hunters are running amok, and nothing is stopping them. What strength is to me? To me, strength are those who can hold the line when under attack, not cowards who will run, accept no responsibility and play victim like the Satan hunters and those like toxic activist leader Sheva Burton. Strength are those who will stand in the heat of battle holding the banner, providing a position of strength in the chaos of war, a rallying point, and a focus to hold and then advance to the attack. Political leaders like Zelensky of the Ukraine is such a strong man, one who can hold the line and is the standard bearer against the Russian invasion. In my own way, I also hold the battle standard, protecting the vulnerable from the Satan hunter, and supporting my fellow anti-Satan hunter activists against heavy ongoing attacks from the Satan hunters and the toxic activist thugs of Sheva Burton. No matter how hard I am attacked, I will hold the line and will fight it out against any Satan hunter or the thugs of Sheva Burton. My black flag outlook. If I was a general fighting the Russians, my position would be black flag, to neither give mercy or expect mercy. The war in Ukraine is not an honorable and ethical conflict. The Russians are worse than beasts, and thus as far as I am concerned, under me there will be no prisoners, all Russian soldiers can expect death. Under different circumstances Satan hunters would be hunted down, put against a wall and executed by firing squad. Be under no illusion of my hatred for Satan hunters and those that support them. Likewise, my answer to Putin is drop a nuclear bomb on Moscow resulting in hundreds of thousands deaths just to get at that one leader. I am not going to pretend or apologize for a very harsh position, that is the way it is with me. It is probably just as well I will never be in a position of great power, because I won't be a nice person to those I have total contempt and hatred for.
Satan lover James Hind from Brighton, UK, openly commits to planning to disrupt the natural course of democracy and sabotage Matt Taylor's forthcoming Brighton Kemptown 2024 general election campaign.
Sometimes I just don't feel like waking up. Wanna stay inside my dreams. Sometimes I feel like I am breaking up. Do you know just how that feels? Hope is for the hopeful.
Satan lover James Hind from Brighton vows to challenge the words and deeds of prospective MP for Brighton Kemptown, Matt Taylor.
I am expecting a general election in the UK in the autumn, and it is anticipated that the Satan hunter Matt Taylor will be running for MP in Brighton. I and others will be challenging the words and deeds of Taylor so that Brighton is fully informed what they would be voting for.
James Hind, which isn't his real name, is the Truth Movement's leading critic of satanic ritual abuse, claiming that all and every claim of satanic ritual abuse is either an outright lie or misinformation put out to discredit Satanism. James Hind has issued a number of lies about Matt Taylor, including he is viewed as creepy and crazy in his neighborhood, that he was court-martialed in the army for going AWOL, and that he was dishonourably discharged from the army. James Hind is skating on thin ice, and if he continues on this path, will ultimately find himself in a prison cell, found guilty of harassment and stalking.